told this to be kind of simple and more or less educational. You read the description. This is about home defense. What I think you need, what you should include. This is basically talking about how to make your own home defense setup and what you think that you need. I'm just giving you an opinion, my opinion, about things that you should consider. Now, I've already went over what my home defense setup is. It's actually that pistol right there and a shotgun. And pretty much all the stuff you see. And that basically suits the need for me. But things you might want to consider. First of all, I'm going to go over two things right quick. Actually, hold on. Actually, I'll just go over everything. What you probably should have. You probably should have a cell phone. Firearm is good as well. You definitely need the firearm. If nothing else on the table, get a gun. Alright, guys. Not the table, but you know what I mean. It's my bed, actually. But if anything else, just make sure you have a good firearm. That is the most crucial thing. You can call the police after you finish whoever's trying to kill you in your house. Or if someone's just stealing your stuff. But we'll talk about that later. Mental note to self. Okay. Pepper spray is a good non-lethal option. OC spray, a blue flashlight, that's just a little LED. And something to keep it all together in. I was going to go over these. This little LED, this thing is really cheap. It cost me about $1. Don't be fooled by this flashlight. The thing is bright as I'll get out. Made the camera go black. Look at that. That little thing is the brightest little LED I've ever seen. I almost bought an LED for $20 in the store. I saw some Big Lots for $1.50 and I said, hey, I'll pick it up. Blue's my favorite color. And yeah, that thing is ridiculously blinding at night. I swear it is extremely bright for what it is. Now, a defensive LED, an expensive one, a couple $100, is definitely a lot more blinding. It's got an on and off. You just push it one time and you can kind of push it like this and make it go off. So you can kind of do your own strobe, I guess. But I mean, what can you get out of a $1.50 light? I mean, non-lethal is good as well. This is some pepper spray, OC spray. Good to have if you're just, you know, confronting somebody in your home. Just some things, you know, you don't want to shoot someone, you might have to fight them. Generally, I would go for gunpoint, but, you know, the OC spray is good. Like I said, this is deciding what you want, what you're going to put in this, and those are two things to consider. Not mandatory, definitely helpful. This is more or less, I hope my sister watches this, because I want to get her interested in guns somehow, guys, and I don't know how to come about that, because I believe that she needs some of this stuff on the table. The thing is, she lives with her boyfriend, and I don't think they even have a gun in the house. That is bad news, because I love her so much, and I worry about her a lot. You need a simple, basic firearm doesn't have to be basic, but a simple, reliable, functional firearm. That's what I meant to say. That is going to go off when you need it. I've already checked the gun. Most people for home defense, I would generally rather recommend a .38 Special revolver or a .357, depending on how experienced they are. Being basically a .38, it has enough power, and the revolver platform, which is why I say .38, because most revolvers are .38. It's very simple and functional. I mean, if you have someone who's untrained, and something goes down, like your wife wakes up, or somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, can just pick up a revolver and pull the trigger. So that's just something to think about, and it's going to go boom every time you need it, especially in the dark. When you wake up, you don't want to have to fumble with the semi-automatic, the safeties. I have one just because that's what I have right now. This is a .380 actually. I feel it does the job for me. Not night sights. The sights I'm going to point and shoot anyway, so I don't really feel that's a big consideration. Double single action. All you got to do is flip the safety on. It does have a magazine disconnect. And once you get a firearm, you need to have extra ammunition. Generally speaking, you should just make sure. I got 14 rounds total, 380 hollow points, so that should cover most social occurrences. Last but not least, this was my replacement phone, that's why it's this color. Yeah, anyway, don't ask. You should have a cell phone, probably hooked up to your charger at all times to make sure it's fully charged. And it wouldn't be bad to get an extra battery, just in case, guys. So, yeah, you need basically something to communicate with people, to the police, basically, to call the police. Let them know someone's in your home. If you live with somebody, they can call the police while you take care of business. That's usually pretty a good plan. You should have a plan about home defense as well. You need a firearm. That's probably the most important thing. And these are just other items that aren't generally very mandatory, but they're good to have. Non-lethal, because you don't want to have to use your gun ever. And the flashlight, because you want to identify your target. You don't want to shoot a family member or a neighbor wanting something late at night or something like that. Whatever the case may be, doesn't really matter. Like I said, a good system to put it all in. Now, that being said, do not lock your gun in the safe. These two items right here stay in here. And actually some other things go on the top here, but for this video, if I was going to do this, just from this video, those two items will stay right there next to my bed. Now it's more simple and streamlined. I like this simplicity. Phone goes over here. Your gun's loaded. It goes right there next to your pillow or wherever you like to keep it. Just don't lock it up, because you're not going to have enough time to lock it up and load the gun. So keep it loaded, one in the chamber next to you. That's what you should do, whatever gun you get. And another consideration, you may want a shotgun. I'm going to make a separate video on shotguns for home defense, but you may like the simplicity and the tremendous firepower that it brings down range. This is actually just a 20-gauge shotgun of mine, Charles Daly variety. So if I can get you the name on it. There you go, Charles Daly, 20-gauge. Good to have, again, extra ammo carrier somehow, because you're not going to be able to hold shells, trust me. You want it as simple and easy to use as possible, so that shotgun works. But just a consideration, so help this, maybe make sure your selection of home defense firearms simpler. My guide to this is pistol. As far as calipers and barrel lengths and stuff, you shouldn't go any smaller than this. It's unloaded again, just being safe, getting in the habit of it. You shouldn't go any smaller than a PPK size gun as far as the size, and you shouldn't go any smaller than 380 probably, or 32. They're about the same, but you probably shouldn't go any smaller than 380. Preferably 40 or 9mm is what I like to do. Actually, 45 is a good caliper. 38 is a good balanced all-around caliper for revolvers. And revolvers, your barrel length should be between 2.5 and 6 inches to avoid negligible muzzle blast. Because if you get smaller than 2.5 inches on a barrel, the gun's recoil is going to be bad. Its ballistics are going to be hurt because the barrel isn't big enough to generate good velocity, and it's basically it's not needed. A 4-inch barrel suits my needs perfectly. But again, I don't have a revolver to show you. Well, I do. It's in the other room. But again, keep your revolvers probably a mild caliber, 38. Your pistol should probably be mild. Trust me, a 9mm, a 380, a 38 special is plenty enough to stop someone. You just need to hit chest and up. So there you go. Just a few things maybe to make your selections of firearms easier. And just some different things to think about.